Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you're all keeping well and working hard at home and behaving for your parents. It's come to the end of another week here at Cook Spinney, and it's still very, very strange without you all here. But what I want to talk to you today is about something I'm really missing. And I think it's something that everyone's missing at the moment, and that is to be able to go exactly where we want to go. And it reminded me of our school values. And I know a lot of you are not in school at the moment, but you're still part of the school. You're still part of Cook Spinney. And that means you're still part of our school values. And those things that we really work hard to represent still apply whether you're in school or outside of school, whether you're learning from home or whether you're in the school building. So I'm going to talk to you today about one of our school values, and that's about being adventurous. So I'm just going to share something with you because I've been asking all of the teachers and staff at Cook Spinney about the school value and about the school value of being adventurous. So here's our school values. Here's our 5As. The 5As you know really well. We're adaptable. We find new ways of doing things. We can work on our own or as part of a team, and we embrace change. We're ambitious. So that means we know what we want to achieve. We work relentlessly to reach our goals, and nothing can stop us. Okay, we're altruistic. That means we consider the feelings of other people. We help people who need our help, and we're nurturing to all. We help people become the best they can be. We're articulate. That means we communicate clearly and confidently. We use our words to explain, to entertain, and to inform. And we consider what we say. We don't hurt people's feelings with what we say. We speak clearly and we consider what we say. But the one we're going to focus on today is we are adventurous. And that means we're not afraid to try new things. We relish new challenges and we're not scared to be proven wrong. And one part of being adventurous is, it's about trying new things, but it might be about going somewhere new. And at the moment, we can't go anywhere new. But when things are back to normal, which hopefully won't be too long now, let's think about maybe there's somewhere we can go that's totally new. At the moment, the places that I'm going are places that I'm familiar with, like the school and my home, and occasionally I take a walk to the park. But they're all places that I know. But what I really like is to be adventurous and go to places that I've never been to before. So what I did was I emailed all of the staff at Cook Spinney and I asked them to send me some pictures and a little bit of information about somewhere they've been that was new to them and what it felt like to be there, and got people thinking about that special feeling you get when you go somewhere new. You're a bit nervous, but you're also a bit excited to be somewhere new. So these are the ones that came back. I did my one first. And this is when I went to visit Peru in South America in 2014. I went to somewhere called Machu Picchu, and you can see in the photo behind me there. I was doing a charity trek across a lot of South America to raise money for a charity called Sense. And I went with my mates, Ross and Simon. You can see them in the photo there. And we went to this place called Machu Picchu, and it was incredible. It was built nearly 600 years ago by the Incan people, high up in the mountaintops. You can see there how high up this city is. And when you're up there, it was so peaceful and the views were breathtaking. But you know what? The climb up there was breathtaking too. I really needed a rest once we got up there. But I remember that adventure because it was just an amazing feeling to go somewhere new. And we're going to get that feeling back soon. This is Mr. Beaumont. You can see his picture. He went to a place called Bali in Indonesia in 2018, and he says he's an avid traveler and he's been looking to explore further east in the world on his travels, and he went to Bali. Was the top of his bucket list, so he was really excited to go to this place. Now Bali's famous for amazing beaches, amazing jungles and hospitable people, and you can see in the photo behind Mr. Beaumont, it was taken at a tidal beach, and the hut that you can see over his shoulder gets cut off from the mainland when the tide comes in. And he said it's truly one of the most incredible countries he's ever visited. Wow, I'd love to go there. This one is from Miss Jordan, our PE teacher, and she visited the Amazon jungle in Ecuador. She went on a 3-week trip with a company called Dragoman, and she went to Ecuador and Peru, and it was an amazing experience with all her friends. They stayed in a beautiful eco lodge on the edge of the Amazon basin. Wow. And she said it was so much fun, but also really relaxing. And sometimes they could hear the drums and see smoke rising out of the middle of the jungle, and they thought maybe it's one of the tribes that live deep in the Amazon jungle. Wow, what an amazing experience. This is Mrs. Hooper's adventure. She used to work for a company called First Choice Holidays, and she was a holiday rep there. And she was sent to Venezuela in Central America. And she was on this island for 3 months to help look after people. And that photo of her was taken in 1995 on a place called Margarita Island. And she got to go and visit the highest waterfall in the world called Angel Falls. This is from Miss Dempster, who's a teacher of Sprites class, and she went to visit Lake Moraine in Canada. And this looks amazing. Look at those photos, how lovely that water looks. It was part of a Trek America trip, and it was the first time she'd ever travelled on her own. And she met her Trek group and guide in Seattle and climbed on board, and off she went. Now, she travelled to loads of places, including Whistler, which is a place where you can go skiing. She went to Vancouver, which is a big city in Canada, but one of the most beautiful places she went to was Lake Moraine, and you can see there how beautiful that place is. Excellent trip for Miss Dempster. This is Miss Cannon. Mrs. Cannon went to Paris, the capital city of France, in 2015. She spent 4 days travelling around the city using the bus, the boat, and the underground metro train. It's a really busy place, Paris. I've been there as well myself. And there's lots of historical landmarks, including the Louvre Museum, which is the home to the very famous Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. She also said she enjoyed eating freshly made pancakes at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower. And she climbed to the top to get the beautiful views of the city. I love going to Paris. That's such a brilliant adventure. This is Miss Cruz, teacher in Year 5. She went to Chiang Mai in Thailand in 2017. She went traveling around Thailand for a whole month, but she really enjoyed Chiang Mai, which is in the north of Thailand. And she visited some elephants. She got to get up close and personal with the elephants. She even got to feed them their medicine and give them a mud bath. Wow, what a brilliant adventure that Miss Cruz had in Thailand. This one is from Mrs. Dunkham, a teacher of Wolves class, and her husband went to South Africa in 2015. She went with her husband, who's actually from South Africa. They rented a car and they drove from Cape Town all along to a place called Port Elizabeth. And they went exploring lots of attractions, including Table Mountain, which is an amazing place to go to, Boulder Beach, where they've got penguins. You can see Miss Dunkham making friends with a penguin there. She even went to a national park, kayaking, and to a beautiful place called St. Francis Bay. This one's from Mrs. Monkhouse, who's a teacher of Frogs class, and she went to New Zealand, way over the other side of the planet, really far away, and she was on a trip around the world with her husband. And look at all the adventurous things she did. She did a skydive over Lake Tapau. She did a bungee jump off a bridge, and she got a helicopter up to the top of the Franz Josef Glacier. She said she was nervous, but it was worth it for the views and a sense of achievement. So Frogs class, did you know that your teacher, Mrs. Monkhouse, was so adventurous? Wow. This is from Miss Smith. And Miss Smith was lucky enough to visit New York in America, and it's also known as the Big Apple. During her time there, she watched the New York Islanders ice hockey team. Wow, she saw the School of Rock, the musical on Broadway, and she took a ride through the city lights of Times Square in a yellow taxi cab. She even had a snowball fight in Central Park because one of the days it was minus 18. Wow, and she said, fun fact, the fountain and the top photo on your screen is called the Bethesda. I can't even say it. The Bethesda fountain, and that's been in movies such as The Avengers, Enchanted, Home Alone 2, and Stuart Little 2. What an amazing trip! This is from Miss Townsend, and she went travelling around Italy in 2019. She went for a week with her friend, And luckily, her friend spoke Italian, so she was able to speak to lots of people and get her to translate. They went to Lake Como and they went to Milan to do some shopping. Lovely. She also went to Florence and drank coffee at the top of the tallest building in the city. Finally, she went to Rome, where she made a wish at the Trevi Fountain and visited the famous Colosseum where the gladiators used to do battle. What an amazing trip. And look, Mr. Carr went to Italy too. He went to Rome in 2019, and there's lots of places to visit, but this was his favourite city. At every corner, there was a building from ancient Roman times, built thousands of years ago. And when he was there, he had a tour of the Colosseum, climbed up the famous Spanish steps, and threw some coins into the Trevi Fountain for good luck. He also visited St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City, which is a big church right near where the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, lives. He said it was definitely a half term well spent. Oh, and he said the food was excellent too. Yeah, I'm sure he had plenty of pizza and pasta there. This one is from Miss Pierce. And Miss Pierce is a really adventurous person. She went to Petra, a famous archaeological site in Jordan's southwestern desert. Now, this place called Petra dates from around 300 BC. It's really old. You can get through it through a narrow canyon. It contains tombs and temples carved into the pink sandstone cliffs, and it was known as the Rose City. She did quite a lot of hiking whilst there, and her favourite hike was up to the masonry, which sits high up on the top. She said she felt exhilarated looking down at the Jordan Rift Valley and the surrounding deserts. I really, really want to visit Petra in Jordan. In fact, there's a really famous film called Indiana Jones, and that in that film, some of it is filmed at Jordan in this place called Petra. It's a really fantastic place. And then finally, we've got Miss Kips. And Miss Kips went to Mexico and she visited a place called Chichen Itza. Now, this was built by it's a large pyramid built by the Mayan civilization. She said the acoustics are amazing. That means if you clap your hands near the pyramid, you can hear the sound echo all around you. She also got to see a great ball court, the largest known ancient sports field in Central America. And she said, did you know that Chichen Itza is one of the new 7 wonders of the world? It really does look amazing. And you know what? Reading all this stuff really makes me feel like I want to go somewhere new. And as soon as we get things back to normal, I think I'm going to go on a new adventure. I'll leave you with this quote, which is from Helen Keller, and it says, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So in other words, if we don't have adventures in our life, well, there's not much else to do really. So whether you're going far afield or whether you're exploring around where you live, it's really nice to be adventurous. And being adventurous is about taking risks and going to new places. So anyway, I'll have a lovely Friday, have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week. I hope you can find somewhere to go that might be adventurous this weekend. But if you can't, remember, when things are back to normal, we can all start having adventures in school and out of school. And if you want to leave a comment below, maybe you've been on an adventure to somewhere far afield, maybe you went on holiday somewhere really exciting, you can leave a comment below or even send a photo of somewhere that you went to that was a real adventure. I'd love to see about it. I've got the travel bug now. I really want to go on a travel. I don't know what, I might start going online and booking some flights somewhere. Hopefully we're back to normal soon and I can jet off somewhere. Anyway, have a lovely weekend and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.